Hi, in this video we're going through the hangar business in GTA 5 online, why you need one, how much it costs, and how to make plane loads of money. Hi and welcome back, my name's Dan and I'm an old grumpy gamer. Grand Theft Auto is a truly massive game. Between GTA 5 and the constant updates from Rockstar for GTA Online, there's no shortage of new content and interesting things to do. Join me then as we look at every business in GTA 5 Online as we go through the Smuggler's Run hangar business. Before we dive in, if you're new to the channel, we do how-to guides, news and giveaways, so consider subscribing and ring the bell to stay up to date. So first things first, why on earth would you want to buy a hangar? They're expensive and have no passive income source. Well, business aside, there are four main reasons. You can purchase and house aircraft. So if you want to get a jet, a stunt plane, or any helicopter other than the Sparrow, you need a hangar to be able to purchase them. It gives you easy access to aircraft. If you purchase at the LSIA, you can access the airport without getting a warrant. So that means big planes and helis buy at Fort Zancudo, and it's really easy to get your hands on a buzzard or a laser. You get access to trade prices. Grinding the hangar missions will unlock some great discounts on a bunch of aircraft, and given the price of shark cards, it's well worth the effort. And of course, you can call an aircraft as a personal vehicle. And that last one is an absolute cracker. If you're a money grinder with one of the vehicle import-export warehouses, it means that you can call in your cargo bob for sell missions. And that means more money faster. On the business side of things, the hangar's similar to the vehicle warehouse. It's 100% manual. There's no passive side to it at all. Basically, you source or otherwise steal stock. And then when you have enough, you sell and make some cash. And there's reasonable cash to be made. Don't get me wrong, it's not Kyo money. Hell, it's not even special cargo money, but it sure beats the biker businesses. Solo, you can earn around 50 grand an hour, but with friends, the profits can really rack up at upwards of $150,000 per hour. Okay, so let's talk budget. To get started in the hangar business, you'll need to be a VIP or a CEO. Honestly though, you really want the latter option as there are a lot of time restrictions on being a VIP. And to do that, you'll need a CEO's office. The cheapest one is Maze Bank West at $1 million. Don't worry about any of the upgrades, we can deal with them later, just the basics will do to start with. Next, you'll need an actual hangar. You can purchase these through the Maze Bank Foreclosures website on your phone, and we have 5 to choose from. Oh, and don't worry about the prices on screen, I picked these up during an event week. The first one is the LSIA Hangar A17 at $1,200,000. Next up is the LSIA Hangar 1 at $1,525,000, and the last three are all in Fort Zancudo, so there's Hangar 3497 at $2,085,000, Hangar 3499 at $2,650,000, and Hangar A2 at a cool $3,250,000. Each of them has the same capacity of 20 aircraft, so there's no difference there. However, there's advantages to each location. If you go for an LSIA hangar, you have access to the airport at any time without a warrant. This is great if you like to borrow larger or luxury planes, and if you have a yacht, it's a quick trip over. It also means that you and a friend can drag race on the runway without getting bothered by security. If you go for one of the Fort Zancudo hangars, you get access to the military base. That means you can finally complete Solomon's treasure hunt, but more importantly, it becomes much easier to commandeer a weaponized aircraft. Lasers and armed buzzards are commonplace around the base. You'll also see tanks driving about a fair bit, along with the occasional skylift. Further, if you buy at Fort Zancudo, you also get some protection from clowns when you're in its airspace. This is handy for dealing with some of our less experienced griefer friends. Basically, if you enter the base and a griefer follows you, the military staff will get very upset with them. So I've gone for the Fort Zancudo A2 hangar because it's closer to where the lasers are stored on the base, and I picked this up on the cheap during an event week. Next, we have some upgrades, starting with the decor. You can change the floor and the trim in the main hangar. There is a free version, but you can spend up to $320,000 if you want to get really fancy. While you're there, you can also tweak the lighting. There's a few different options available. Again, you can leave it as it comes at no additional cost, or you can spend up to 95 grand on a fancier aesthetic. For the trim and markings on the hangar floor, you have a few options as well, starting with the free one and working your way through a few different designs right up to this industrial looking caper for around 200,000. And the final aesthetic upgrade is the office. Again, there is a free option, but if you're feeling flush, you can step it up a notch with the top option, sending you back a cool 280 grand. You can also add personal quarters from 235,000, so you can spawn in at the hangar. This is handy if most of your properties are on the other end of the map, as it can save you a fair bit of time. For functional upgrades, you can grab the workshop at 1,150,000, which will allow you to customize certain aircraft. It's worth it if you're really into flying, but it isn't absolutely necessary. Right, so that's it for actual expenses. That's really a minimum spend of 2,200,000, including your CEO's office and the cheapest hangar. But if you can budget around 4,470,000, you'll get a Fort Zancudo location with living quarters and a workshop. Daily fees aren't too bad either at only $400 per day plus $50 per additional aircraft that you store. And with that in mind, assuming you're able to make the maximum per hour grinding, it will take you around 45 hours to make break even if you go the budget option solo. Around 20 hours if you have friends. So it's still not co money, but the vehicle discounts and the ability to call in an aircraft as a personal vehicle is still worth the cash, in my humble opinion. Once you've made your purchase, head over to the new facility and head on in. You'll get a fun cutscene with Ron, as well as a bit of a briefing on how the hangar works. And once that's done, head over to the computer. Make sure you're a VIP or CEO, then sit down and log in. You'll be presented with a single option, Setup. Click on the Setup button, then Confirm. You'll immediately be booted into the lobby and Ron will give you a belt. Funny thing too, for fans of the story mode, it turns out Ron isn't too happy about being left to run Trevor Phillips Industries on his own. Once Ron's finished banging on, grab a vehicle. This can be your personal vehicle, a Sparrow, or you can borrow one. Then head to the marker on the map. When you get close, jump out and find a good line of sight. Take out any lost MC boys, then jump in the plane, take off, and head back to the airfield by following the yellow marker. Once you're there, fly into the Corona, and you'll be dropped back into the hangar where you'll get another quick briefing. Rightio, the next thing we need to cover is resupplying your business. That is organizing the products you need for resale. And this is where it gets a bit complicated and a bit mathy. Your hangar has the capacity to hold 50 units of stock in total. Unfortunately, there's no way to increase it, so that means we need to be mindful of what we collect. So when we go to sell, each unit is worth $10,000 in-game, but there are bonuses available for selling specific types of stock in specific quantities. So here goes. If you're playing solo and you're very new to the game, or you don't have much flying experience, then you only want to sell small quantities of stock at a time. A maximum of 3 items, in fact. While it doesn't matter which product you choose in relation to the sale value, tobacco and counterfeit goods have the shortest cooldown at around 2 minutes, so they're probably the best place to start. And why so few? Well, keeping the stock level this low will guarantee a single delivery vehicle when it comes to your sell mission. There's no bonuses at this level, and it's a bit of a pain, but it will help you get your flight experience up and give you more of a feel for what you're doing. The $30,000 per run won't hurt either. Now, if you're a little more experienced and playing solo, then you want to stick exclusively to either animal materials, art and antiques, or jewelry and gemstones. Don't mix and match either. Just pick one and stick with it. When you get to 10 units, run a sell mission. In most cases, you'll end up with a single delivery vehicle, but there's a non-zero chance you'll get 2 or 3, which is why this isn't great for new players. But most of the time, it'll be a single delivery vehicle. The great thing about hitting the 10 units with this type of stock, though, is the bonus. In addition to the full lobby bonus, you'll earn 12% extra for selling 10 units of the same type of stock in one go. Assuming you get everything delivered, that's around $112,000 per run, plus any public lobby cash. If you regularly kick around with a friend, you'll want to stick with the same type of stock: animal materials, art and antiques, or jewelry and gemstones. Again, don't mix and match, just pick one and stick with it. Hold off selling until you have 20 units in stock. This doubles the previous bonus to 24%, while still most likely only giving you 2 delivery vehicles. That's 1 for each of you. And with bonuses, you're looking at bringing in 248 grand, so nearly $250,000. Oh, and the full lobby bonus too. So yeah, not bad. If you're lucky enough to roll with 2 other players regularly, then we stick with more or less the same plan. Source animal materials, art and antiques, or jewelry and gemstones. Again, no mixing and matching. Once you get to 30 units in stock, do a sell mission. This adds another 12% bonus. That's 36% in total, while quite likely giving you the 3 vehicles to deliver with. So again, 1 for each of you. At this level, when you sell your stock, you'll get $408,000 plus any public lobby bonuses. And finally, if you're lucky enough to have a full complement, which is to say 3 friends that you game with regularly, you can make some serious cash. This time we want to switch it up a little by sourcing narcotics, chemicals, or medical supplies. And you guessed it, pick one and only one. Now this might take a minute, but this time we want to fill the hangar. That's a full 50 units of a single product. And when it comes to selling, there will be 4 delivery vehicles. So again, 1 each, and a whopping 70% bonus. So that is $850,000 in total, plus any public lobby sell bonuses. Right, on to the actual supply missions. Now, once you've decided on a type of stock, make sure you're a VIP or a CEO. head up to the office and sit down at your PC. Then click on the source button, then the stock you'd like to find. Once you've confirmed, you'll be booted back into the lobby and will receive a briefing from Rom. Listen to it carefully, it is important. Rom will take you through one of about half a dozen different sourcing missions, most of which are a version of go here, kill mercs, bring stuff back. But anyway, after Ron gives you some details, you'll see an icon for a suitable vehicle. You do not need to take this vehicle if you can find something more appropriate or you have something better around the way. So if you own a Sparrow, a weaponized buzzard, or a Hydra, you can call that in and use that instead. If you have a Fort Zancudo hangar, you can also borrow one of their vehicles too. But if you don't have something suitable or, anything at all, then make your way to the aircraft provided and jump in. Like I said, there's around half a dozen different missions, so follow the instructions, collect the supplies, and bring them back to the hangar. Once that's completed, you'll be dropped back into the hangar and a cooldown will start for the next package. And it's time to get mathy again. Cooldowns are calculated on the bonus potential of each product. So if you're a new solo player and concentrating on the tobacco and counterfeit goods, which has a rubbish bonus, the cooldown is a flat 2 minutes. If you're a more experienced solo player or you kick around with 1 or 2 mates regularly, you'll be focused on animal materials, art and antiques, or jewelry and gemstones. The cooldown for each of these is 3 minutes per unit. So if you're solo, that means a flat 3 minutes. If you've sourced 2 units, that's you and a friend, the cooldown is 6 minutes. If you source 3 units, the cooldown is 9 minutes, and 12-minute cooldown if you have 3 friends and sourced a total of 4 units of stock. Finally, if you have a great crew and regularly grind, you'll be concentrating on selling 50 units at a time for the biggest bonus, and that means narcotics, chemicals, or medical supplies, which carry a cooldown of 4 minutes per unit sourced on a single run. So do a source mission on your own, it's a 4-minute cooldown. With 1 friend, it'll be 8 minutes, 2 friends will be 12 minutes, and 3 friends, that's a full crew of 4 people, will be a 16-minute cooldown. It's a pain in the backside, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Once the cooldown's finished, you can log back in and do it again.
Oh, do it again.
Rightio. Once you have clocked up enough supply runs, it's time to sell your stock. Again, make sure you're a VIP or a CEO, then head up to your hangar's office. This can be done from the master control station too, but don't do that, it's silly. Take a seat at the computer, log in, and head to the sell menu. Click the relevant sell stock button, then click the confirm button, and you'll be booted back into the public lobby. After a moment, you'll get another call from Ron. Listen to it carefully, it is important. Ron will brief you on one of about half a dozen different sell missions. Simply follow the instructions to drop off the goods, avoiding any griefers, and you're good. As soon as the last package is dropped, the money will be deposited in your account and you can continue putting around in free mode. Oh, and if you run out of time or you get a cargo destroyed by griefers, you will still get a partial payment for anything you have delivered if there are multiple drop-offs. One more thing here too. On occasions, you'll be asked to return the vehicle to the airfield in exchange for some additional RP. Typically, it's around 1500 points. So if you're a low level, about to rank up, or are heading back that way anyway, by all means, drop the aircraft back. But if you're above rank 120 or couldn't be bothered with it, it's no sweat. Like I said, it's only 1500 points. Okay, before we head off, there's a couple of quick tips for maximizing profits should you feel inclined. If you don't plan to grind this business beyond what you need for discounts, you can still preload stock for special event weeks. So if you're a solo player, whenever you're bored or waiting on a cooldown for something else, do a quick supply run for either animal materials, art supplies, or jewelry and gemstones. Once you have 10 of each, stop. Then when Triple Money Week rolls around, you'll have 3 separate sell missions ready to go without having to do any resupplies, each netting you 336 grand instead of the usual 112 for the same stock. And that means a total of more than $1 million in stock on hand. And stepping away from the hangar business and over to the vehicle warehouse business, if you have one, buy a damn cargo bob as soon as you can afford it. This makes it much easier to do vehicle warehouse sourcing and selling missions. Using a cargo bob's lift, you can collect and deliver vehicles much quicker, and in most cases with significantly less damage. Oh, and as an added bonus, it's handy for the Simeon Repo mission, Do You Even Lift, and the Air Freight VIP mission. And that's it, thanks for watching. Check out the video up the top for another business guide, or the one down the bottom for some more old Grumpy Gamer goodness. Stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you in the next video.